Yo, what's up, Bears fans? Your boy, Coach C with Chicago Bears 360, back with another live show for y'all. Listen, we got a good one, some breaking news. Y'all already know about it, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. Yeah, the Bears signed Kevin Byard, formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles and Tennessee Titans, the free safety. We suspect as a replacement for our boy Eddie Jackson, Bo Jack. So we're going to talk about that and so much more. Y'all know how it goes. Do me a favor, run those likes up, subscribe. If you're watching this on the playback, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, man. Tap in. Got a lot of stuff, good stuff coming up. Y'all know what's next. Cue the intro, Maestro. Let's go. Contra.
Life like chess, move to pieces, you know I roll in silence. On the road to them Benjis, I fill my teeth with diamonds. I'm high as fuck in the sky, you would've thought I'm pilot. I'm from Chicago, it get ugly, fill the streets with violence. Life like chess, move to pieces, you know I roll in silence.
Past, present, future. We bear down.
And just like that, we're back, Bears fans. Thank you for joining the program. Your boy, Coach T with Chicago Bears 360. Like I said, do me a favor, man. If you're watching this on the playback or if you're in the chat right now, man, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, right? Hang out with us for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Hang out. We got some good content coming up, some great interviews continuing as we continue our string, our streak of Thursday interviews with outstanding guests. I'll let you know about this Thursday guest and some of the other guests we got coming up later on in the program, but definitely like, subscribe, share. Also, I want to let you guys know or remind you that the super chats are online. Please donate, man, to the super chat. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep the program going. We're expanding. Y'all see the new graphics. That's right. We're expanding the team, the squad. I'll introduce some of our new members of the team probably during our Super Bowl show, the weekend of our Super Bowl. We're going to be hanging out all weekend long, having special guests on the program to, you know what I'm saying, just collaborate during the Super Bowl. It's one of those times kind of like to get together and celebrate being Bears fans and all that good stuff. So, yeah, definitely hang out with us, man. We're going to, try to provide the best content available. Also, again, get some of your best, your favorite guests online, even, you know what I'm saying, some people that we disagree with. We don't mind, coming up, putting our heads together and just coming away with the best takes possible. Definitely appreciate y'all. So let's get into this Bears news. As you heard, probably on X, Twitter, or whatever the case may be, the Bears signed Kevin Byard, I believe is how you pronounce the name, former All-Pro from the Tennessee Titans, Philadelphia Eagles, to a 2-year, $15 million deal. By all, accounts of the money and the value for the player, this seems to be a great signing, a good signing for the Chicago Bears. Ryan Poles, he does it again. Here it is. You get value similar to the TJ Edwards deal where you kind of split. You save the Bears money and cap space, but you get more value out of the actual player and help this defense out in replacing Eddie Jackson, who, you know what I'm saying, if we're honest, was kind of probably starting to tear off in terms of his performance and production for the team over the last couple years or so on. So, and I've got a chance to watch a little bit of Kevin's film, and, it doesn't jump off off the screen at you. But what you notice is he's fundamentally sound, getting the calls in, translating and communicating the calls, getting on his landmarks, being where he's supposed to be as a free safety to make sure he's shoring up the back end of that defense, also helping out running support and so on and so forth, right? So I think it aligns with what Matt Eberflus likes to do well, this defense, in terms of what he does with the free safety. I would like to see Matt Eberflus use the safeties a little bit different, in the sense that they're not so much of a tail that he likes to use one guy in the box over the other. And when I speak about that, I'm speaking about Jaquan Brisker, how he likes to use Jaquan Brisker more in the box versus how he used Eddie a lot of times. I like to be more balanced there, so we don't have as many tails in the defense, right? Where they can expect one guy to roll down over the into the box over the other one. But nonetheless, I say this about Kevin Byard, his body type, his skill set. He has the ability to come down in the box and get there with bad intentions as well. He's a big guy, seems like a big guy, and he will hold up in traffic, and that's what you're looking for, the ability to have diversity on the back end of this defense. You want as few as tails as possible with this defense, right? So yeah, we're looking to continue to add to this defense. There's still a few other holes to fill on the defense. I think we could use a great, if we can get a veteran interior defensive lineman. I won't call it a 3 technique or a 1 technique. I would say an interior defensive lineman because of how we use our interior defensive linemen. We don't make them necessarily swap spots when the strength of the defense changes. So as long as we get a quality interior defensive lineman and the edge. Now, my question to the chat is this: where do we get those guys from? I think those are 2 last positions we need to fill. The question to the chat is, where do we get those positions from? Those holes filled from? Where do we get them? Do we get them through free agency, or do we get them via the draft? You know what I'm saying? I'm of the variety of the flavor that we always go the draft first, because I want to keep these books as clean as possible for Ryan Poles over the years, that we never get him in a situation or a bind where he has to make move because of salary cap decisions and so on and so forth. So as long as he's able to control the books, it allows him to keep control of how this team is built, how it's how it's constructed, and we never lose control of that. And that's controlling, these, usually inflated free agent contracts. And that's one thing you'll notice about even going back to last year, the TJ Edwards deal, the Tremaine Edmonds deal, this deal right here with Kevin Byard. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that kind of does salary cap work, and I'm not pretending to be a salary cap expert or anything like that, but you know what I'm saying, on the business end, you try to stay away from the inflated contracts and get value there. And I think Ryan Poles is doing a great job in making sure he's staying ahead of the curve when it comes to that. So let us know how you feel about that in the chat. So much more. And then definitely, looking at the JJ deal, Jalen Johnson's extension that we even did earlier this week. Same thing with that. I know, I got excited during the show and it was $24 million per year, but still $19 million per year for Jalen Johnson. You have to think about what that means in the long term, right? And what it could have been. I think, most of us, after Jalen had, shown that he can turn the ball over, was expecting it to still be, it wouldn't have been a surprise that if he were in the $22-23 million a year range for us, but somehow they get it done at 19 or so mil per. And I think that's still a shout out to Ryan Poles and his ability to, help these players see the bigger picture, see where the vision for the franchise is going. Now, like everything we do in Bears media, Bears Twitter, Bears social media, whatever the case may be, the question is, if any of these moves are a referendum on, what the Bears plan to do ultimately at the quarterback position. That part remains to be seen. I want to briefly talk about the timeline for when we expect the decision to be made, because I think we're all going a little bit stir crazy with the decision pending. Of course, people are getting frustrated. The battles are going back and forth on Twitter, X, the debates in the chat. I even kind of got into it a little bit today because I had time. I had energy today. Which is going to be part of my Drunk Uncle segment today. Because, man, listen, I think I don't think. I don't expect everybody to take my approach to content creation or reporting or whatever the case may be, right? But this is I can only speak for Chicago Bears 360, right? And for the 360ers. The idea that I just want people to be intellectually honest. And I think that's not too much to ask when we're having conversations about, you know what I'm saying, the future of the franchise. And when we're debating about the quarterback position, even, right? So we'll talk about that a little bit. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But let me know how y'all feeling about the remaining positions on the defense, right? Should we fill those positions? What positions they are? And then you think we should fill them via the draft of free agency, considering that, yeah, we have the money, but do you spend it all, right? The other part is um knowing that we still have holes on the offense, right? We still have to go out and either sign and draft players on that offense, and we have to pay people either way. We still have other holes, right? So how do we fill those as well, right? How do we fill those as well? That's something I want to talk about when we come to the DM section. I'll follow and I'll answer your questions in the DM section about that. But let's talk about this timeline because I think it's important for Bears fans to kind of realize the strategic part of negotiations and business and so on and so forth. Um, had a nice little Twitter debate with somebody on Twitter this morning. I can't even remember the account's name. I was just kind of delirious, sleepy tweeting and going back and forth. And it was off the heels of the Adam Hogue tweet. Somebody came in my comment saying something about something, and so they you know what I'm saying, multiple tweets. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna respond today. But the point was, the biggest point that was being made was about the timeline, and I want to make sure that I've discussed that. I talked about I talked about that on the show because I think it's an important part and consideration of when things should be happening, how things have strategically aligned for whatever the decision is to be made by the Chicago Bears, right? So let's take a look at it and talk about it briefly. And I'll explain to you my perspective and what I think and how I think things are kind of aligning based off even the timeline, right? So, of course, the franchise tag part of it is already done. We're coming up on the March 13th, new league year on this. What is that? What's the date of the Tuesday or Wednesday? Starts free agency officially begins, right? That's the day that all these deals become official on the 13th. The April 1st to the 15th time period is when the offseason workouts begin. And of course, the draft on 25 to 27 of April. By the way, tune in for that and be doing some collaborations, like I said, for the draft with other shows, other people. Is going to be fun. But let's talk about this timeline. Specifically, I want to take a step back. I'll take a step back because, and I wish I would have loaded that clip up because somebody sent it to me today. A lot was said about in the Albert Breer article about what transpired after the draft or during the draft between Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. And I don't know if people, when they read the article, caught this part. They said that Williams and the team chose to move his 30 visit back. And that caught my attention because in my conversations with people like Greg Gabriel, who's going to be on the program in a couple weeks, stay by for that one. Shout out to Greg. He's going to be on the 21st, Thursday the 21st. Me and Greg had a great conversation about how things usually line up and all this other stuff because I was trying to understand the timeline. Usually that 30 visit happens after the pro day, but the fact that they had a 30 visit schedule kind of normally out of sequence was strange to me reading the article by Albert Breer. But the fact that he said they moved it back, the Williams and the team, and in my debate with whoever that was said Well, the Bears moved it back. And I said, no, go back and read it again. It said Williams and the team chose to move it back. But the Bears it didn't sound like, I didn't read it. It didn't read to me as if the Bears moved the 30 visit back. If they moved it back, they only moved it back to whatever the original date would have been in a normal circumstance after the pro day. But it said that Williams and the team decided to move it back. So I read that as if, they tried to move it forward and do it earlier than normal. And Williams's team chose to say, no, we want to move it back to a normal type of cadence when it comes to the time period that they have 30 visits. Now, y'all can go and fact check me all you want. Now, I welcome that part, but I haven't heard of anybody doing a 30 visit anytime soon, pre pro day. Y'all let me know in the chat. I'll catch up with it when I do the DM section, come to the chat and verify that. That was strange to me. I don't know if that's going to stick, but it was strange to me when I read it in the article. So to me, they're only, and again, it's based off of my conversation with Greg as well. Somebody's intimately involved with these situations before. They moved the 30 visit back to a place or a time where it would normally be. The article might have quoted the 30th. Somebody I heard said the 30th, but the 30th is the day of the USC Pro Day. So the 30 visit can't be that same day. It's going to either have to be sometime the following week or the following weeks. This is why this is important to me, right? I'm setting this up, right? I'm telling a long story to get to a short conclusion, if you will. If it's Williams's camp that moved the 30 visit back, right, we have to ask ourselves, what was the purpose of having a 30 visit the Tuesday after the combine? What would have been the outcome of having a 30 visit the Tuesday after the combine? The Bears would have had all of the information they would have wanted to know about Caleb Williams, right? For the most part, because like he said, I got games worth of film. I got 30 games worth of film out there, or whatever, right? The 30 visit would have included a physical of some type, and they would have spent more time with the player to get to know him on an individual basis, right? They would have had more information in general if he concluded or completed the 30 visit on a Tuesday after the NFL Combine. Delaying the 30 visit actually leaves more questions out there. Whatever, you can say what you want to, but it was said during the combine that, hey, we just met, we talked a little bit, it was 10 minutes, boom, we were out of there. That's not, I don't think that's enough time to do an interview. Now, I've done a lot of interviews, and none of them have lasted 10 minutes, and they definitely weren't interviews for with multi-million dollars a year on the line, or else I wouldn't be here talking to y'all. So the question is, why move the why not complete the 30 visit if it was on the schedule at that time? If there was an agreement to do a 30 visit on a Tuesday after the combine, why not do it? Why push it back, right? And there's only one logical outcome to me, right? When you push it back, again, moving it forward gives us the information early. Why? That gives me leverage as a person, as a franchise. That gives me leverage in my decision and what I'm deciding to do, because I know as early as possible. It doesn't benefit the Chicago Bears at any form to have this thing pushed back to after or closer to the draft. It doesn't benefit them. So it was really a way, in my eyes, it was a way of saying, listen, you can wait. If you want more information, you can wait. I think it was the only, it was playing on the only leverage I believe the individual player has, as well as the Washington Commanders. The only leverage they have if they want Caleb is time. So I don't think, and this is what I was getting to, I don't think if the Commanders make a play, we're going to hear about it, or they have no incentive to make an offer for that first pick anytime before the draft at all. The one luxury The one piece of leverage they do have in negotiation with this situation is time. And if they wait to the last minute, and if there's no offers ahead of theirs, then it works out to their advantage. If they come in at the last minute on draft day with the clock winding up with one offer, basically it's like playing poker. You know what I'm saying? It's like playing poker. That's like playing chicken. They're calling the Bears bluff. If they wait till the clock is winding up and they make an offer, and the whole deal is take the pick, knowing if you really don't want to do it. That's what I'm getting at. If you really don't want to do it and you're just playing games, I'm gonna make you wait until the last minute and take whatever offer I put on the table because the clock is running. You don't have time. So the Bears' best bet is to get something done early with control over the situation. Because the closer you get to the draft, the closer you get to that clock ticking down, the less leverage you have. That's business 101. That's negotiations 101. Time, or if you're forcing somebody to make a swift decisions in a small amount of time, is usually going to end up in a mistake or error. So it would behoove the Bears to probably, mark a date on your calendar and say, on this date, by this date, we need to know, because I'm not going to allow you to back me in the corner. And that's the chess match, the business of it, which is fun to watch if you're in that sort of thing. And, Games of Thrones and all that other stuff, the strategic, mind games of these type of programs and so on and so forth, right? The other part of that is this: does somebody else come in? Because you got to think about Washington setting the market and they come out and make an offer. If they come out and make an offer for the number one pick, then that announces to the rest of the league what the standard is, what the bar is, right? So the other part of the question is, does somebody else come out and step up and say it? Those are the two trigger points. Actually, three trigger points. So if you add the Bears setting a marker, setting a date and saying, by this date, we're going to make a move no matter what. We're going to make a decision no matter what, right? And they're sticking to that. Or you have somebody else, a New York, a Denver, or whoever the case may be, come out and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna let it be known that we're going out to Caleb. We're gonna we're gonna trigger the negotiations. We're gonna start it with 2 first, star player, and a whatever the case may be. That's when you start the feeding frenzy. That's when you're gonna trigger the competition. That's when you're gonna trigger everything that comes on. Or we don't do anything. We're truly taking them. We're going into the draft and there's nothing to be had, nothing to be said, right? That was the whole conversation that I wanted to get out to Bears, because I don't think people think about the negotiations part of it. They don't think about the business part of it. They don't think about the timeline. All this stuff has to happen in a certain space of time to allow other decisions, the domino effect of other decisions to be had, right? That's one part of it. The other part is, we'll get to that in a second. So let me know what y'all think about that part of it, because I believe it's a critical part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a critical part of the decision-making process, because the other part is, within the first 2 weeks, April, first 2 weeks, you could possibly, if you're keeping Justin Fields and it's decided, have him in the building to work with the staff. In the second week, they can get in there the first week and start doing film and plays and language and all that other stuff. Second week, they can get on the field, which I think, I don't want to get into that stuff because it's a less than likely scenario, because again, I think it goes all the way up to the draft and they would just say, never mind, Justin, just stay away. The other part of that is, the other part of this conversation, on the flip side, to be fair, the trade Justin Fields crowd that want to get away with Justin Fields, talking about the market value for Justin Fields, right? And I've been seeing this a lot too. I don't understand the business acumen of there's no trade value for Justin. No, the market is what it is. So if you have about 7 to 8, this is the one that kills me. I'm gonna smoke y'all take on 32 GMs. First of all, 32 GMs don't need a football player. They don't need a quarterback. 32 GMs not looking for a quarterback. About 7 or 8 are looking for a quarterback. 7 or 8. So if you have about 4 good quarterbacks coming out in the draft and about 4 free agents, good quarterbacks, serviceable quarterbacks in free agency, that's 7 or 8, right? There's about 7 or 8 positions. And if you're a GM, what is your priority in which choosing these quarterbacks? Do you go and look for a player that's already on the team under contract for another team? Or do you think, okay, I'm going to go draft, free agency, or go grab a quarterback off the other team or another team? That's going to cost me, not only going to cost me money, but potentially in a year, but it also costs me players, assets, right? If I take that player, draft assets at that, or do I just go draft a player that's going to be available in the draft? So it's a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? It's miscommunicating the situation. I don't know, you know what I'm saying, where y'all went to business class at, but that's not really how that works, right? It's supply and demand, basic supply and demand. I got 4 or 5 guys that'll get drafted. Caleb, Jaden, Michael Penix Jr., Drake May, and they're actually sliding McCarthy in there. 5, right? You got Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins. Who else is out there? There's about 3 or 4 guys that's out there that are potential suitors in the draft in this situation, right? So what do? There's only so many positions available. So do you bypass those guys just to go get Justin Fields when you're going to have to depart with assets? And you got to figure out what you're going to do with this guy's contract at the same time. I don't understand the 32 GM. And that's what I'm going to get to when I get to the drunk uncle segment. I'm not going to hold y'all long today because I got to get to that. But that's what I'm going to get into, because all the discussions, it's like this very intense intellectual dishonesty that's taking place. And it's like, bro, you're not even thinking about what you're saying. You're just blurting stuff out because it fits what you want to happen. And I feel like that's the frustration. So my frustration is not at the individual, but it's the intellectual dishonesty that I'm a rant about when I get to the drunk uncle segment, because it's time we said something about it. It's time somebody called it out, bro. It's time that we talk about it, because the reality of the situation is this. If Caleb Williams lands in Chicago, most of the people that are pro Justin are going to be like, all right, Caleb Williams is in Chicago. Now, a few of y'all already reached out to me like, Coach, listen, I don't care. He better produce year 1, season 1. We're going to the playoffs and all this other stuff. And I'm not coming off my take even for y'all. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? 18 to 24 games, let the kid get his feet wet. He's going to have to ramp his way up and become who he's going to be. He's going to need time to develop into a full NFL style offense. So it's still going to be 18 to 24 games. That's my take. I'm not coming off of it. And guess what? I'm probably going to flip and be turned dogmatic about defending Caleb against these same people who are being intellectually dishonest in their takes about what happens with this quarterback situation. You know what I'm saying? No context. You know what I'm saying? Quote statting, stat boys with no context with their criticisms of the current quarterback. He only won. His record is this, macro level stats. Oh, this stat and that stat and that stat, but never discuss year 1. This was the situation. Year 2, this was the situation. Year 3, this was the situation. Never bring without context. And to me, when you ignore that, when you dismiss it and you try to gaslight people, it's just intellectually dishonest. That's what makes it frustrating. That's what makes this whole thing cloudy and nobody wanting to really, you know what I'm saying? Like deal with y'all on a like interpersonal level. Like it's really crazy, because it's like, if you lie, it's like lying to me. That's what drives me nuts. Like if you lie, you will steal. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, maybe I'm looking at it too deep or whatever, but I don't care. I'm holding the platform. I got the mic today. Listen, let's slide to the DM before I get fired up, man. I don't want to do that. just yet. But I don't have a deeper conversation yet. But it's crazy to me. Anyway, let me see if I had any other videos to share. Oh, I had one, but I got ahead of myself. Let's slide to the DM. I want to hear what y'all talking about in the situation.
Did you get like some crazy DMs or what?
Very
Surprises or no?
It's talking like blue check marks.
Yeah, like
people who be sliding, and I'm like, wow, y'all fuck with me like that.
Oh yeah, so yeah, definitely got. I'm coming to the DMs because I got smoked for this food tonight. Leonidas, yeah. So I definitely got smoked for this food today. Down in my comments, I already asked you one time to stay out my comments with the foolishness. Listen, I don't mind having debates, but all the name calling and stuff, bro, is crazy. But either way, we'll talk about it today. You get your moment to shine? You get your moment to shine today. So if you got a question, we'll talk about it. But you know what I'm saying? Outside of that, we not gonna talk about it. What's the intellectual dishonesty? Listen, stats are not facts. Stats are not facts. Football context requires context because there's dependencies, especially on the quarterback positions. There's no other position that have more dependencies in the quarterback. What I mean by that, if somebody has to block the play, somebody has to call the play, right? Somebody has to run the play. Somebody has to throw the ball. Somebody has to catch the ball. Right? The wide receivers has to run the routes. Everybody has to do their job in order for the quarterback to be successful. But this is what y'all will do. This is what y'all will do. Y'all will go purposely pull stats that ignore those facts and say, blase, this happened. And I'm like, bro, okay. And when somebody points out, well, this is dependent upon that, you ignore it and dismiss it. What is that all about? What is that all about? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. They can't have a nuanced conversation or discussion about the situation. It's all, you know what I'm saying? It's all macro level stat quoting, like I said, bro, just straight intellectual dishonesty, man. And it gotta stop or it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Choose your fighter. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Anyway, I want to point it out because somebody had to call it out. By the way, shout out to my guy TB who came in on X or Twitter, said, Coach, I believe your mic is off. It was. So shout out to you, TB. It was off. I went back and checked the settings this whole time. It started. I configured it first weeks ago for it to be on, and it just went off. So it reconfigured itself. So I figured I got to check it every time, reset it. So shout out to you. Anyway, let's see. Black Diamond says this is a win now move. It furthers my confidence that we're staying. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I know, you know, Black Diamond is my guy, but I don't know. This is what I'll say about it. I know the question you're answering, so I'm gonna speak on it. This is what I'm gonna say about it. Give me, if they go free agency to fill those other spots, then I'm gonna be alerted. I'm just gonna tell you that part. I'm gonna be alerted a little bit if they go free agency to fill these other defensive spots. If they go all in on the defense through free agency, that lets me know they want to win now, but they want to win a certain type of way. They're gonna, especially if we go free agency and we go free agent running back. I mean, star running back, then I'm leaning towards, okay, now we may be going Caleb because they've gone all in on the defense. They plan on resetting the quarterback market or the quarterback clock or financial books, and they go Saquon Barkley or somebody like that at the running back position. Then that's going to set the stage for a nice little development plan for Caleb Williams, in the sense you have a great running game. You got a packed out defense, right? You have a star-studded defense. We're going to run the ball, play good defense, and we'll ask Caleb to make some plays here and there while he develops. And then we'll start building the team that way. That's fair. That's reality for me. Whether Justin Fields fans or Caleb fans want to feel it or not. That's how football would work, and me to understand it for me, right? So I'm watching. I said, is this truly? It's not there yet. But if they go out and get a big name defensive lineman or edge rusher, and they go get a big name running back, that to me, that says Ryan Poles is making the swing that way, right? So again, for all the Caleb stands that don't think that we make provisions for anything else outside of just us keeping Justin Fields, then that's cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's big cap. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Shout out to the team in the private room, man. I'm going to introduce them, like I said. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it today because I'm proud to have them aboard. I got help, man, and I appreciate the spirit of the individuals that's helping me now. So I'm going to introduce them today since both of them are hanging out. Let me go back to the comments because I got a lot to say, man. Berlismo, I got to put you out, bro. Berlisco, make sure I give him a shout out. Shout out to Berlismo for being my first ever super chat. Hey, Berlismo, I just need you to drop that check, that tax check in there. I don't know if y'all do taxes where y'all at, but yeah, give me that. Put that tax return in there. And we'll be straight, man. You'll be friends forever. Super Bowl TB says Super Bowl. This is a rerun. No, I don't know, man. JF1 staying. Shout out to my guy CBP Films. Yada in the building. Levante Rogers in the building. Oliver in the building. I'm gonna shout all y'all out. AC Adam. I'm trying to see. Here he goes. CB Film says that's why I think they got this guy, coach. You got you talking about Byard. What do you think we're doing with Byard, CBP? You think we are completing the roster? You think we're making a Super Bowl run? What do you think we got going on with the situation? Do me a favor, little person. I got the sun blaring through on my eyes. It's going crazy right now. It's a nice sunny day here in the city. All right. What else we got going on? Oliver said, this is a hell of a chess move. This is what I'm trying to, that's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get people to think outside the box. It is a hell of a chess game going on right now between these GM. And it's not as straightforward as the fans would like it to think that it is right now. It's not. Ryan Poles better play the game the right way, or Washington can outsmart him by putting him in the corner, painting him in the corner. Now, I'm a chess guy, so you know what I'm saying? I understand it. I understand the game on a different level. He can't wait till the last minute. He has to circle a date on the calendar and say, if Washington hasn't made a call and nobody else has made a call, he has to be the aggressor and say, let me figure out what deals I got on the table. If it is indeed my desire to move on from Justin Fields, what deals do I have on the table and what can I get done? Also, what I want y'all to take into consideration is this. What role does the media play in all this? Do they leak something out as far as a deal going on to get things sped up a little bit, to get everybody in the feeding frenzy, to get things done? That part of the game, I don't even think most fans are even paying attention to. I'm just saying. Berlismo said Byard played 100% of the Eagle snaps last year. Shout out Berlismo on that. My guy Baki in the building. Shout out to Bach. This is y'all show, man. I'm just hanging out today, bro. Jeff Schultz said, shout out to Jeff. Jeff said, trade down multiple times and building this team through the draft. Conventional wisdom, Jeff, would say this is the move because if we want to build a long-term sustained winner, let's not act like, all right, we hate the team up north, but this is what they do. This is their business model. This is exactly what they do, man. They draft, they They sign players, they draft good players, they develop them, and then they draft guys behind them. And they don't allow guys to stay on inflated contracts as free agents. They'll get rid of a guy if he's asking for too much money, unless he's just a blue chip, surefire guy. He's one of their linchpin guys. That's the model that they use. That's what they operate on, right? We're not there yet. We don't have enough guys out there that we can say, hey, rookie, you sit behind such and such for a couple years. And then y'all know how, I'm going to mention their name on the show, how Green Bay will always have a player come out of nowhere. Just come out of nowhere. Where does this guy come from? We just got rid of the last guy. How did this guy come out of nowhere and he just plug and play and he's a superstar? Because that guy's been sitting on the bench for 2 or 3 years behind a superstar that they developed before him. And then the guy came behind him. He stepped right in and he just started playing ball because he got 2 years to look at the guy in front of him as an example on how to practice, how to play, all these other things. And now he's just plug and play guy. That's what you mean by developing the guy. That's what I'm saying. We're not there yet. A lot of our fan base just want these Band-Aid solutions that, yeah, it could get us to win for a year. But after we win for that year, y'all want it to be another 40 years? I saw the 85 Super Bowl. I was 10, right? I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? If we get one in the next 4 or 5 years, I don't want it to be another 4 or 5, 40 years before we competitive again. Right. So, something to think about. Shout out to Devontae Rogers. He said, this year is a different, coach. Other years, I would agree. But with the expansion of the cap, expectancy is rising. We got to strike while the iron is hot. This is why I feel where you're going, but this is why what I just said is why I disagree with you, right? We look at Detroit. Look at Detroit. Detroit not only swung early, but they swung wrong. It's important when you take your swing. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. We have to build quality depth. We still have to, regardless of who's the quarterback, have to solidify the quarterback position. Whoever plays quarterback for the Chicago Bears next year is still going to be in a prove it situation. They're going to be improving it to themselves and they're going to be proving it to the league. Right. So that's a round 1, round 2, hey, I can prove I can play in this league, exit. And the expectation would be the next year that you go out and dominate, right? You go out and take it to the max. That's what it is. So with that and the level of, the amount of depth positions we have to fill on this roster, I just still think it's too early to make the swing. It's too early to make the swing. I want to get up and take this glare off so bad. How bad is that glare, guys? Gee whiz. It's so sunny here right now, and I just left the window open. Anyway, Keith Harris says he got value with the signing 2-year, $15 million, 7.5 for Byard allows Poles to use money elsewhere. Yeah, absolutely. He is he won the deal. He won the JJ deal too. He won the JJ deal big time. Berlison says JJ's cap hits 13 mil, more money next year, which makes me think Fields having 1 year left might be an indicator. Come on, folks. Like, listen, I care about the Fields, Caleb situation, but you know what? I care more about how we playing the game. Like the saying about dirty work, man. It's a lot of dirty work going on. Shout out to my family, Ronnie Brown in the building over from Facebook. I finally got you over here, Ronnie. Finally got you on the show. And you got to tune in when we have some of these hot guests on the show, man. It's fun. It's always fun. So he said, I've been getting hit for supporting JF. I've been seeing your comment section. They've been on your head too on Facebook. And listen, you think y'all think Twitter is toxic, man. You know what I'm saying? Facebook is worse because the people are older. And they you know what I'm saying? They cuss you out in Old Testament in Facebook. They cuss you out in Hebrew. Anyway, shout out to my guy Roddy Brown. All right, man. Trying to get through these comments. Hey, did y'all do something with Leviticus? What was his name? Deuteronomy. Did y'all do something with that guy? Leviticus, Deuteronomy. I don't know what his name is. Listen, as long as he get too crazy, man, in the chat. Listen, I don't mind debate, bro, but listen, we gotta chill, man. I went back through the comments last night. That's why I was a little bit ticked off at him, because I went back through the comments after the last show. I didn't realize he was acting like that. Coach Greg, that dude was slandering Caleb SMH. Who? Greg. Oh, you talking about Greg Gabriel. Hey, man, listen. I'm going to go ahead and put that out here like this before we had Greg on the show. Greg is my guy. I'm loyal to a fault. And I'm going to tell y'all why, man. That man has earned every bit of being ornery and who he is in his authentic self that anybody can get. You know what I'm saying? That man has worked in the league, been not a GM, scout in the league. And Greg is just an old salty dude, bro. And I love him for that. And he says it how he means it. He's consistent. It's more than I can say for a lot of people on these social media apps supporting either one of these parties. We got all kinds of disrespectful flip-floppers all over the place, man. Once Greg makes up his mind about something, he's going to be consistent. And watch this. That's not the whole purpose of why we having him on the program. What me and Greg are going to talk about on the program is going to be taking y'all in the insights of the scouting situation and how they're broken out, you know what I'm saying, how they break out scouts, or how he broke out scouts regionally, what's actually on the scout card. Like, I'm thinking, you know, as a coach, I would want a impact. I want to have input on what's that scouting card is, depending on what the scheme I'm wanting to run. So I want to know what's on that scouting card and how the grading system works. I want to know all the details, because that stuff is important to how we do the show around here. So it's not a Caleb, you know, Justin type of things. I'm sure we'll get into that, but there's things that we're going to talk about in the show. I think y'all going to understand where I'm taking it. So trust me, it's going to be bigger than that, you know. And Greg is going to say what he's going to say, man. Like, I respect my elders, bro. Y'all, I don't know I don't know where some of y'all was raised at, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Not y'all, not people in this group, but I look on Twitter at X, man. Greg is just Greg, bro. Like, respect. Anyway, bro, let it go. Chirac veteran 6 in the building. First time seeing the program. He says, not gonna lie, bro. By signing makes me nervous. The Byard signing makes me nervous. Bro hasn't been all pro since 2021. He was okay best with the Eagles last year. Seems like a guy at the end of his career. You're not the first one to say this, bro. I was watching the film on him. Here's the thing: 30, right? Towards, you know, rightfully so, towards the back end of his career. But I think they have a type at safety, though. I don't think they're looking for a young guy, a upstart at safety, not two guys back there. And that's based off how they use them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Brisker's that young Thundercat that they can send down in the box, and you know what I'm saying? He plays with his hair on fire, disregard for his body and all that other stuff. But they need to have a calm, cooling presence back there in the back defensive backfield that's going to make sure people are getting the calls, that's hitting their landmarks, and they come down and they play nasty when they got to. Like, one of those guys got to be, you know what I'm saying, level-headed and sensible about his approach to the game. So that's what I'm thinking. As I'm watching the film, I'm like, this dude, he's really just back there free safety in it. And, you know, free safety can kind of be a boring position at times, unless, you know, games on the line, game-winning drive, 2-minute situations, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not really in the mix that much. It looks like they really ain't doing nothing on damn near 80% of the plays until certain situational football comes into play. The question is, when he has to make a play, does he make the play? And I'm looking at him and I'm saying, shoot, you know, as much as Eddie was off his markers, off his landmarkers, sometimes missing tackles, missing assignments, like it, you know, it's just hard to deal with. It's hard to imagine him being any worse than that guy. But you may be right. You may be right, but these guys usually do pretty well in the scouting department. I'm gonna say that part. All right, cool. But I appreciate you hanging out, though. I appreciate you, commenting. I'm glad we got you in here, man. Um, Come on. I want to get some new faces up here. I haven't talked to Bear Truth 9 in a minute. I haven't talked. Yeah, let's get Bear Truth 9. I say, yeah, coach, there's a lot of ways to look at it. What stuck out to me is it got out so fast. I think Lens to try and get your evaluation done fast so you make a quick decision for Justin. Benefits Bears. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, somebody had to say something. That part triggered me to think it. Somebody had to say something. Somebody had to say, hold on a second, bro. You got a 30 visit schedule with the Bears. When? No, we're not doing that. Why are you doing it so fast? That helps them. Hey, push that back. Somebody had to say that because it gives the Bears the full advantage. It says we have our full scouting report. We have our full look at Caleb Williams, and now we can make a true decision. Now we have all the leverage. You try to squeeze that into a short amount of time. I hope Ryan Poles just doesn't make it, because we haven't talked about that a whole lot. This could wind up real bad. Ryan, I doubt if it goes that way. He seems to be somebody that prepares really hard, like really well. But if he waits too long, this can be really bad. This could go bad, really bad for him. Like, I mean, worst case scenario, he drafts Caleb Williams and has Justin Fields on the roster together, which then you would have to figure out how to move Justin Fields afterward. That's what I would suggest. If you ended up in that situation where they forced you to draft Caleb and you had Justin on the roster, you would have to move him for pennies on the dollar. And Justin would probably go somewhere as a backup. I mean, so it's not a guarantee, guys. It's not a guarantee. I'm talking about either way. No scenario is a guarantee that it works out. Let's put it this way, in Ryan Poles' favor, where he doesn't look like somebody just, got him, somebody got his number. You know what I'm saying? Here's Squeegee. I got you right here. Right. I want to balance this out. Right. And this is not at Squeegee, but I want to balance this out because people get selective hearing when I say stuff like this. If we draft Caleb Williams and we develop him, which we haven't done with any quarterback, if we draft Caleb Williams and we develop him and we give him time, if the fan base gives him time, in 18 to 24 games, I believe he could be a pretty good quarterback if we have a good development plan in place, right? Do I think Caleb Williams can overcome all the crap that Justin Fields had to deal with? If he has to deal with it in a similar fashion, he doesn't have players in certain spots around him. I don't think he can get away with the stuff he got away with in college in terms of making all these miracle plays and stuff like that. So they're going to have to find a way to plug these holes around him to make the situation somewhat tolerable. And then the other part is that Shane and team are going to have to scheme some stuff up to keep him out of trouble. And then that goes back to my earlier take. They're going to have to make sure they got a solid defense and a great running game. Two backs that we can get a ball to at least 30 plus times a game and keep the pressure off the kid. That's me making a way for Caleb Williams, for the people that say we don't have balanced takes on the Justin Fields support side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what else do you say? All right, guys. I'm trying to give balance to the takes, to the outcry. Thanks for putting up with the sun here for a while, man. That was crazy. I wasn't prepared for that. I prepared for everything else except for nature, the sun shining through. All right. What else we got for this? What else we got for the team? What else we got for the guys? I don't want to be on here a whole lot. And like I said, man, I want to just come in here and say something. Listen, let's slide. Let's slide. Good discussion. I hope y'all will take what I said and think about it. Think about the timelines. Keep more eyes on Ryan Poles, perhaps, to see how he's moving through the situation, because you know what I'm saying? That's the person that's probably gonna need some medication after it's all said and done and over with, right? But let's slide to the DM section, man. We're gonna get things going. I mean, we're gonna give out the drunk uncle, man. I got something to say about this whole situation. I slipped into a little bit of a rant earlier, but this is the real conversation I want to have, man. Let's go.
Anything is possible, got feelings in my cup. I see everything in double, got 2 blunts, I'm rolling up. I've been walking in a circle, no expression, now I'm stuck. 34 decline calls like Giannis chasing bucks.
All right, man. The Drunk Uncle segment sponsored by Jerk Chicken, number one jerk. That's an inside joke for all of y'all that know about number one jerk. Follow him on Twitter at X. My guy, number one jerk. Drunk Uncle segment sponsored by him. So today, man, I got something for y'all, man. I usually don't do this, right? I usually mind my own black business, but I got to call one Adam Hogue to the front of the congregation today, man. And I got to call him to the front of the congregation for this take right here.
Any other quarterback needy franchise in the NFL right now would be treating this more like we treated the Blackhawks getting the number 1 pick last year.
Right.
From the second it happened, it was a Connor Bedard party. If Washington had the number 1 pick right now, if New England had the number 1 pick right now, it would be Caleb Williams mania in all of those markets. I mean, guys, there's a reason why he's on Nissan commercials and Dr. Pepper commercials.
Wendy's.
He already is a superstar.
$10 million last year.
I'm like, this should be more like Connor Bedard excitement, and we're just in this, and it's just this weird place where.
Hey, did y'all hear the part? Did y'all hear the part where he was starting to holler? He called out all the sponsors, and somebody in the back said, "Wendy's." Wendy's. I didn't hear that before. It came through in the headphones. Wendy's. Today's Drunken Uncle, man, I'm going to get it out the way. It goes out to Adam Hogue, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy talk, man. It is. I'm not giving Adam Hogue Drunk Uncle because of the Caleb Justin situation. I'm going to tell you why I'm giving him Drunk Uncle. Because Adam coaches the game, I'm told. Adam coaches football, I'm told. I don't know that firsthand. I'm told Adam coaches football. And I'm giving him Drunk Uncle because how do you, if you're a coach, forget that part. How is it based, the weirdness of everybody co-signing on Caleb Williams without any proof, any signs other than listen to the football people. I'm not talking about just conjecture debate, people that watch highlights that think he's the next coming of Patrick Mahomes, all this other stuff. I'm talking about when you are a football person, schematics guy, X's and O's guy. If you listen to those guys, all of those guys are saying the same things. But here's the part that drives me nuts a little bit. The dismissing of the whole other part of the perspective and trying to kind of mind screw the fan base into thinking they're crazy. That's why I use the term gaslight on X and Twitter, saying he's trying to gaslight the fan base into thinking like him. No, we're not weird, Adam. You're weird. You're being weird, my brother. You're being weird because you're not looking at the full scope of it. You're being very narrow-minded in the argument. And then you're supposed to be a football guy. So if you're a football guy, You answer me, why is it the football guys like Dan Orlovsky? Y'all don't have to listen to me. Y'all don't have to listen to me. I had my takes way before any of these cats came out and said anything about RPO, air raid. He's Caleb is running air raid too much. I don't think it translates to the NFL. All these guys that came out and said it after me, after I did it months ago, y'all not even listening to them dudes. Forget me. Okay, if y'all don't want to listen to Coach T, because all I did was coach high school football, fine. The Dan Orlovskys of the world. Ryan Leaf said it. Quincy Avery said it. That's why I have people on the show that y'all respect probably more than me, that y'all gonna listen to more than me. Why is it? It's again, to me, it's intellectually dishonest. To me, this rant, this little clip was Adam's equivalent to when Cap said, what are y'all afraid of? Y'all afraid of greatness? No. Stop trying to gaslight. My daughter in here. Stop trying to gaslight the fan base into thinking like you. Because we know football. We know what we're looking at. They know what they're looking at. The people that know. So Coach T comes out and says, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm not with it. The dude runs air raid, RPO stuff 75% of the time. I don't know how that's going to translate into the NFL.
Take Caleb Williams. ...
Mm-hmm.
Finish that.
If they take him, I would be you better be under the understanding that you're going to sit him this year. And that's not going to happen. So
why would you sit him?
Well, because 75% of what he made him so great in college is not transferable to the NFL. He's not going to be able to.
Yeah. 75% of what made him great in college is not going to translate to the NFL. What is that 75%? That's you're running RPO 75% of the time. But I got somebody texting me talking about, well, Adam's a coach too. If you're a coach, then you would have been able to break it down and say, oh, okay, what is this? This is RPO, air raid RPO stuff. It's 1-2 read. How's it going to translate? Did I load the Brendan Rice clip up, guys? Nope, I didn't. I stumped Brendan Rice at the Senior Bowl on the same question. Hey, Brendan, tell me about Caleb. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, coach, you know what I'm saying? Did this. I said, all right, cool. I said, resolve this situation for me. And so I don't forget how I put it. I said, Brendan, Jerry Rice's son, Brendan, probably going to get drafted second, third round, whatever the case may be. I said, Brendan, resolve this for me. How do I compare Caleb, who ran traditional offense 25% of the time? How do I compare? How do I rank the two when I have Caleb 25% of the time running a traditional offense and making traditional reads to a guy that does it 90% of the times in Jaden Daniels? How do I rank those guys with integrity when this guy won the Heisman doing it in the SEC? Well, both of those guys are good guys. Blah, blah. Yeah, exactly, bro. You can't explain it to me. You can't say anything about it. 2 months ago, I told y'all, I said, Dan Orlovsky comes out on Get Up and says, oh, yeah. When pressed by Greeny, he says, yeah, I'll take Caleb. Caleb's my dude. He mentions Drake May as probably the second. Then I said in the spaces, Julius, my producer, is my witness. I said in the spaces, I said, watch. When Dan Orlovsky get a chance to see the film, he's going to change his take. Julius, my witness. He was in the spaces with several other people. I said, watch. When Dan get a chance to watch this film, he's going to change his take on Caleb Williams being the number one guy. He's going to come out and say Jaden Daniels was. Wasn't even a month and a half later. What your boy do?
Simple. I have not thought that Caleb Williams was a lock at number one because I thought Drake May would be the guy. I was wrong in that. Jaden Daniels should be the guy. If I were the Chicago Bears right now, I would take Jaden Daniels out of LSU. That is not a knock on Caleb Williams. That is a plus. and Jaden Daniels. I think.
I mean, bro, this is what drives me nuts. Either y'all don't know, y'all don't show it out, y'all don't care, bro. It's getting to the form of disrespect at this point. But you'll gaslight the fans and to try to think you it's just such a lock. Oh, and watch this. Here's your justification. Your reason why it should be a lock is because he's a superstar. He's on Wendy's commercials. He got Nissan commercials. We working our ass off breaking down this film to give y'all great takes, football takes, and the guys that get the attention, the guys that get the back. I'm gonna say it how I feel it. The guys that got the biggest platforms are the guys saying he's a superstar because he has Nissan commercials and Wendy's commercials. Come on, man. That's crazy to me. And I like Hope. And I mean, this is not personal. This is business. It's not personal. I just want y'all to know that. If I saw Hogue in the room, I'd dap him up. What up, man? But y'all, the people that know me know me. If I had smoke for you, you'll know it. I like the dude. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not finna let you bastardize this football stuff. Hell no. And I'm not finna let you play in the face of the fan base. That's a personal pet peeve of mine. You trying to make me think I'm crazy? Because I don't think like you. Stop playing with these fans, man. Who else I had out here said something like that? I'm just going to play it, see what happens. That's it, man. That's all I got for the Drunk Uncle Award. Adam Hogue gets it for the day, man. It is what it is. I just can't do that, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments. It was a whole, that triggered me, bro. Stop playing with the fans, bro. Stop playing with the fans. Our fans are smarter than that. What are we doing? We know there's a sector of us that's all about football, and we know it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, listen, it's not personal. This is the conversation since y'all brought up Cap 2. This is the conversation I want to have. Listen, this is what somebody need to let Coach T in on it. Send me a DM and let me know, hey, it's part of the gig. It's part of the gig. We just acting. I just didn't get, nobody sent me the memo because it's like Tubi. It's like sitting down watching a Tubi show. It's bad acting. So I'm not in on the gig. Yeah. See, this is what I said, bro. This is what I said. I said y'all was going to do this, Yada. I said this on Twitter X. I said, bro, they're going to discredit this man because it's Ryan Leaf. Like that man didn't play football on the highest level of football. This man didn't, he wasn't a high school great at football, a college great. Even if Ryan Leaf was but this is what y'all do to that man. Even Ryan Leaf was a bust in the NFL. Ryan Leaf was still one of the greatest college quarterbacks to ever play the game. Quit playing with him. See what I'm saying? Y'all heard the process. First they dismiss you, then they discredit you, then they disrespect you. Y'all gotta stop, bro. That's the stuff that frustrates me. Y'all gotta stop. Why would you discredit this man, dismiss that man? That man is one of the greatest college football players that ever played the game. Because he was an NFL bust. You know how many NFL busts we've had since in the history of the NFL? Bust. You know how many people? Okay, I'll put it this way. Everybody that ever picked up a football and played high school football and didn't make it to the pros is a bust. I'll put perspective on it for you. You're talking about the highest level of football. We're all bust. Anybody that ever played and or coached on anything other than NFL level are bust. It's guys. Allen Iverson is a bust. Whoa. What are you talking about, coach? Allen Iverson is a bust. Allen Iverson is a bust. Allen Iverson is one of the best football players ever come out of the Hampton Roads, Virginia area. One of the best athletes that ever come out of that area. Never made it to the NFL. It's so many legends in football, high school legends, college legends, never made it to the pros. Y'all go out there and name some out. Y'all gotta stop it, bro. Y'all gotta stop it. Y'all terrible football arguments. Gotta stop. Gotta stop. Anyway, that's the drunk uncle of the day. You getting it because y'all trying to mind screw these fans around, man, because like they don't know what they talking about. Listen, this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. If it shows up on film, you can't deny it. The stats you can manipulate numbers to make them tell the story you want to. But that's why we do the film. We break down the film. We do it from a coach's perspective, Chicago Bears 360 with Coach T. That's why we built the platform on that. And that's where we've worked from. And guess what? I'm going to put you up on the screen because I'm going to give you the attention you want. That's why I got the platform, my boy. That's why I got the mic. That's right. I define drunk uncle over here. That's why I give it out, because it's my show. People show up to listen to me, not you. All right. Thanks for hanging out. I'm your boy, Coach T, Chicago Bears 360. Listen, on Thursday, we got another great guest. Like I said, nobody else does this. And I'm going to tell y'all this. Watch this. I got a coach coming on, Nick. What is Nick's last name? I don't want to mispronounce it. I got a coach that comes on who's an air raid specialist. Also a Bears content creator. He's an air raid specialist. He actually is trained in this offense. He specializes in this offense. He runs the offense, right? And we're going to talk about the air raid offense because y'all know I got a lot to say about the air raid offense and Caleb's experience in it and how much he ran it. Watch this. I'm having a guy on the program on it that's a fan of the air raid offense, that supports the air raid offense, that's a defender of the air raid offense. See, this is what y'all won't get in other programs. Y'all don't get other people that have people on that disagree with their takes, that go against what they think about. That you gotta have confidence in what you're talking about. To have people on that don't necessarily agree. Are we going to talk about air raid offense? He's actually going to do some teaching. He's going to show me some stuff about the air raid offense, what the base and the base calls are, how the scheme. I know about I know the philosophy of it. I know the concepts, but he's trained in that area. And Nick is going to come on Nick Whalen on Thursday. We're going to talk about it. And then the Thursday after, we got Greg Gabriel. The Thursday after, my guy Greg Braggs is coming on. And then I'm going to say the big one in April, the second week of April, one of y'all favorite Bears radio personalities will be on the show. Can't wait from there. I'm going to tease that one for a little while, let y'all hang out a little bit, because it is what it is. I see what it is. Listen, bro, and this is the funny part about it is all the detractors, I don't care, bro. Y'all know me for real, for real. All the detractors, y'all can tag y'all favorite anti-whoever personality on Twitter. Y'all can tag them and say, Coach T challenge you. You come on the program. He'll debate you on the program. Y'all can get all of them. You can get the TTNL guys. I'm calling them out. You can get Brian Perez. You can get any one of them. And they come on the program. I'll go on their program. We can simulcast. And somebody can mediate, moderate. We go head to head and debate. I don't run from nobody. It's like that. So y'all see what it is. I want all the smoke. So, like I said, so some of y'all favorite Bears person now is going to be coming on in April. I'm going to save the big guy give me a couple more weeks. I tease it a little bit. But y'all going to enjoy that program. Usually those collaborations are fun. They lighthearted, man. We have a good time and we do it like that. But I appreciate y'all. Like I said, man, I'm your boy Coach T with Chicago Bears 360. I'll see y'all on what's the day? Tuesday. What position we tackling Tuesday? We're going to do some film. We still on offensive side. I want to get to tackles, man. I want to get to these offensive tackles coming out in the draft. I don't know. I think we're still looking for one, perhaps, maybe. No, I don't know. Let's talk about tackles in the draft. And let's talk about Braxton Jones. Like, is he really the long-term solution? So we're going to talk about tackles coming out in the draft on Tuesday, man. And we're going to keep the party going. Y'all know what it is, man. For now until next time, man, it's past, present, future. We bear down, man, and we don't run and we don't dodge no smoke. So I'll see y'all next time. Peace.